Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day two in 2024. We're going to continue our reading in Ezekiel chapters 5 through 8. The Lord says, Son of man, take a sharp blade and use it as a barber's razor to shave your head and beard. Take scales to weigh your hair and divide it into 3 even parts. When the blockade is over, burn 1/3 of your hair in a fire in the middle of the city. Take another third and cut it up with the blade around the city, and scatter the remaining third into the wind, and I will draw a sword and go after it. Take a few strands of hair and wrap them in the hem of your clothes. Later, take some of them and throw them in a fire and burn them up. From there, a fire will spread throughout the whole nation of Israel. This is what the Almighty Lord says. This is Jerusalem. I have placed it in the center of the nations with countries all around it. The people of Jerusalem have rebelled against my rules and my laws more than the surrounding nations. They have rejected my rules and they don't live by my laws. So this is what the Almighty Lord says. People of Jerusalem, you have caused more trouble than the nations around you. You haven't lived by my laws or obeyed my rules. You haven't even lived up to the standards of the nations around you. So this is what the Almighty Lord says. I too am against you, and I will punish you in front of the nations, because of all the detestable things that you do. I will do things to you that I have never done before and will never do again. That is why parents will eat their children, and children will eat their parents. I will punish you and scatter whoever is left to the wind. As I live, declares the Almighty Lord, because you have dishonored my holy worship place with your disgusting and detestable things, I will have you killed. I will not have compassion for you or feel sorry for you. 1/3 of you will die in plagues and devoured in famines. Another third will die in battles against those around you. I will scatter the remaining third to the wind, and I will pursue them with the sword. I need to stop right there and back up a little bit into verse 11. And he said, As I live, declares the Almighty Lord, because you have dishonored my holy worship place with all your disgusting and detestable things, I will have you killed, and I will not have compassion for you or feel sorry for you. I would take that as a warning because there's no such thing as Christian yoga. There isn't. I mean, the yoga forms that are practiced is in worship to different Hindu deities, Hindu demonic deities, I should add, because there's no saving that. It's been already sanctified to demonic people, the different forms. So for those of you guys out there believing that there is Christian yoga and all that, spiritually, it's not. You're spiritually bowing down to false idols. You're spiritually bowing down to false deities, demonic deities. And the people teaching this are possessed quite literally by these deities wanting to spread the end of the world agenda. So if you want further information on that, I would check out Little Light Studios. They've done an entire in-depth comparison with the Bible to that and had brought in some people who are experts in that field. So for more information, check out Little Light Studios. LED. It stands for Light Exposing Darkness. I will unleash my anger. I will use my fury against you, and I will get revenge. When my fury is unleashed against you, you will know that I, the Lord, spoke to you while I was angry. I will turn you into a wasteland and an object of ridicule among the nations, and you, uh, I will, I will turn you into a wasteland and an object of ridicule among the nations around you, and in the presence of everyone who passes by you. The nations that are around you will ridicule you and laugh at you. When I punish you because of my anger, fury, and fierce revenge, you will become something ridiculed and something horrible. I, the Lord, has spoken. When I shoot my destructive arrows of famine at you, I will shoot to kill you. I will bring more and more famines into your land, and I will cut off your food supply. I will send famines and wild animals against you, and they will rob you of your children. I will send plagues, violence, and wars to kill you. I, the Lord, have spoken. The Lord spoke his word to me. He said, Son of man, look toward the mountains of Israel and prophesy against them. Say this, you mountains of Israel, listen to the word of the Almighty Lord. This is what the Almighty Lord says to the mountains and hills and to the ravines and valleys. I am going to attack you with the sword and destroy your worship sites. Your altars will be destroyed and your incense burners will be smashed. I will kill people in front of your idols. I will lay the dead bodies of the people of Israel in front of your idols, and I will scatter their bones around your altars. Wherever people live, the cities will be ruined, and the worship sites will be wrecked. Your altars will be ruined and demolished. Your idols will be smashed and completely destroyed. Your incense burners will be cut down, and everything you have done will be wiped out. People will be killed, and they will fall among you. Then you will know that I am the Lord. But I will let some people live. Some people will escape the battle among the nations and be scattered throughout the countries. Then those who escape will remember me among the nations where they are taken captive. I was hurt by their adulterous hearts, which turned away from me, and their eyes, which lusted after idols. They will hate themselves for the evil and disgusting things they have done. Then you will know that I am the Lord, and that the disaster I promised was not an empty threat. This is what the Almighty Lord says. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, and say, Oh no, because the people of Israel have done evil and disgusting things. So they will die in wars, famines, and plagues. Plagues will kill those who are far away. Those who are near will die in wars, and anyone who is left and has escaped will die in famines. This is how I will unleash my anger. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Those who are killed will lie beside the idols around their altars. They will lie on every high hill and on the mountain tops and under every large tree and every leafy oak. These are the places where they made offerings to their disgusting idols. I will use my power against them and destroy the land from the desert to Diblah. Then they will know that I am the Lord. The Lord spoke his word to me. He says, Son of man, this is what the Almighty Lord says. To the people in the land of Israel, the end is coming. The end is coming to the four corners of the earth. Now the end is coming for you. I will send my anger against you. I will judge you for the way you have lived, and I will punish you for all the detestable things that you have done. I will not have compassion for you or feel sorry for you. I will pay you back for the way you have lived and for the detestable things you have done. Then you will know that I am the Lord. This is what the Almighty Lord says. One disaster after another is coming. The end is coming. The end is coming. It is stirring itself up against you. It is coming. Destruction is coming to you, inhabitants of the land. The time is coming. The day is near. There will be confusion. There will be no joy in the mountains. Soon I will pour out my fury on you and unleash my anger on you. I will judge you for the way you have lived, and I will punish you for all the detestable things that you have done. I will not have compassion or feel sorry. I will pay you back for the way you have lived and for the detestable things that you are still doing. Then you will know that I am the Lord and that I am the one attacking you. The day is near, it is coming, destruction is coming. Wrongdoing has blossomed, arrogance has flourished, violence has grown into a weapon for punishing wickedness. None of the people will be left, none of that crowd, none of their wealth, and nothing of value will be left. The time is coming, the day is near. Buyers will not rejoice and sellers will not mourn because my fury will be against the whole crowd. Sellers will not live long enough to buy back what they have sold. The visions against that crowd will not change. Because of their sins, none of the people will live. They have blown a ram's horn and everything is ready, but no one will go into battle because my fury is against their whole crowd. Outside are swords and inside are plagues and famines. Whoever is in a field will die in battle. Whoever is in the city will be devoured by famines and plagues. Those who survive will escape to the mountains. They will moan like doves in the valleys. They will moan because of their sins. Every hand will hang limp, and every knee will be as weak as water. They will put on sackcloth, and horror will cover them. All their faces will be covered with shame, and every head will be shaved. They will throw their silver and gold into the streets like garbage. Their silver and gold won't be able to rescue them on the day of the Lord's anger. It will no longer satisfy their hunger or fill their stomachs. Their silver and gold caused them to fall into sin. They were proud of their beautiful jewels and used them to make disgusting and detestable statues of false gods. That is why I will make their jewels disgusting. I will hand their jewels over to foreigners as loot, and to the most evil people on earth as prizes. These foreigners will dishonor the people of Israel. I will turn my face away from the people of Israel, and foreigners will dishonor my treasured place. Robbers will go in and dishonor it. Get the chains ready. The land is filled with murder, and the city is filled with violence. So I will send the most evil nation, and it will take possession of people's houses. I will stop those who are strong from feeling proud, and their holy places will be dishonored. Anguish is coming. People will look for peace, but there will be none. One disaster will happen after another. One rumor will follow another. People will ask for a vision from a prophet. The teaching of priests and the advice of leaders will disappear. Kings will mourn, and princes will give up hope. The common people will lose their courage. I will give them what they deserve and judge them as they have judged others. Then they will know that I am the Lord. On the 5th day of the 6th month in the 6th year, I was sitting in my home. Judah's leaders were sitting in front of me. The power of the Almighty Lord came over me. As I looked, I saw something that looked like a human. From the waist down, its body looked like fire. From the waist up, its body looked like glowing metal. It stretched out what looked like a hand and grabbed me by the hair on my head. In these visions from God, the Spirit carried me between heaven and earth. He took me to Jerusalem, to the entrance to the north gate of the inner courtyard of the temple. That was where an idol that stirs up God's anger was located. There I saw the glory of Israel, the glory of Israel's God, as I did in the vision that I saw in the valley. God said to me, Son of man, look toward the north. So I looked toward the north, and there in the entrance to the north gate beside the altar, I saw the idol that stirs up God's anger. He asked me, Son of man, do you see what the people of Israel are doing? The people of Israel are doing very disgusting things here, things that will force me to go far away from my holy place. But you will see even more disgusting things. Then he took me to the entrance of the courtyard. As I looked, I saw a hole in the wall. He said to me, Son of man, dig through the wall. So I dug through the wall, and I saw a door. He said to me, Go in and see the wicked, disgusting things that the people of Israel are doing here. So I went in and looked. I saw that the walls were covered with drawings of every kind of crawling creature, every kind of disgusting animal, and all the idols in the nation of Israel. In front of these drawings stood 70 of Israel's leaders. Jazaniah, son of Shaphan, was standing with the leaders. Each of them was holding an incense burner in his hand, and a cloud of incense went up. And God asked me, Son of man, do you see what the leaders of the nation of Israel are doing in secret? Each of them is in the room where his God is, and each one of them is thinking, The Lord doesn't see me. The Lord has abandoned this land. Then he said to me, You will see even more disgusting things that they are doing. He brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the Lord's temple. Women were sitting there and crying for the god Tammuz. He asked me, Son of man, do you see this? You will see even more disgusting things than these. Then he brought me into the inner courtyard of the Lord's temple. There at the entrance to the Lord's temple, between the entrance and the altar, were about 25 men who had their backs turned to the Lord's temple. They were facing eastward and worshiping the rising sun. He asked me, Son of man, do you see this? Isn't it bad enough that the people of Judah have done these disgusting things that you have seen here? Yet they also fill the land with violence and continue to provoke me even more. Look how they insult me in the worst possible way. So I will take action because I am angry, and I won't have compassion for them or feel sorry for them. Even if they shout in my ears, I won't listen to them. Sounds like to me God's judgment can be just and it will be swift. Been studying out Richard Monroe, and I'm going to read what he calls the power chapter. We're more like the scriptures in this power chapter in Matthew chapter 27, beginning in verse 34. They gave him a drink of wine mixed with a drug called gall. When he tasted it, he refused to drink. After they had crucified him, they divided his clothes among themselves by throwing dice. Then they sat there and kept watch over him. They placed a written accusation above his head. It read, This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. At that time they crucified two criminals with him, one on his right and the other on his left. Those who passed by insulted him. They shook their heads and said, "You are going to tear down God's temple and build it again in 3 days. Save yourself if you're the Son of God. Come down from the cross." The chief priests, together with the experts in Moses' teaching and the leaders, made fun of him in the same way. They said, "He saved others, but he can't even save himself. So he's Israel's king. Let him come down from the cross now, and we'll believe him. He trusted God. Let God rescue him now if he wants. After all, this man said, 'I am the Son of God.'" Even the criminals crucified with him were insulting him the same way. At noon, darkness came over the whole land until 3 in the afternoon. About 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you abandoned me?" When some of the people standing there heard him say that, they said, "He's calling Elijah." One of the men ran at once, took a sponge and soaked it in some vinegar. Then he put it on a stick and offered Jesus a drink. The other said, "Leave him alone. Let's see if Elijah comes to save him." Then Jesus loudly cried out once again and gave up his life. Suddenly the curtain in the temple was split in two from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rocks were split open. The tombs were opened and the bodies of many holy people who had died came back to life. They came out of the tombs after he had come back to life, and they went into the holy city where they appeared to many people. An army officer and those watching Jesus with him saw the earthquake and the other things happening. They were terrified and said, "Certainly this was the Son of God." And I just want to reconfirm that he is the Son of God, certainly forever and always, from the very beginning of creation to the end of this world and into eternity beyond what we know and can see. Jesus is the Son of God made flesh, come to earth to take our sins upon his self so that we could come into a reconciliation time with God the Father. And it's just heartbreaking how many people are denying that, knowing everything that he went through to bridge this vast chasm. And despite what others may say, despite certain beliefs, there's only one way to the Father, and that's through Jesus Christ. It isn't through Allah, it isn't through Buddha, it isn't through Muhammad, it isn't through meditation and self-awareness. It isn't through any of that. It's only through the one that took and bore his stripes on our back, who took the crown of thorns on his head, who took the nails through his hands and his feet, who took the spear in his sides. He's the only one who can give access to eternal life. He's the only one. There is no multiple ways. There's only one way, and that one way is Jesus Christ. With that being said, I hope y'all have a great day today and just continue seeking and searching after him and be obedient to what he would have you do. Y'all have a great day.